As we come in the air, we are tracking Hurricane Milton's path toward Tampa Bay. It is expected to make landfall as a major Category 3 storm. You're watching a special hour of storm coverage as you prepare for Hurricane Milton on 10 Tampa Bay. I'm Courtney Robinson.
And I'm Frank Wiley. We have team coverage for you live across Tampa Bay. Crews are in Pasco County through Sarasota County, focused on what leaders and neighbors are doing right now ahead of the storm. But first up, rainy weather making roads more of a concern. This as people evacuate to safer spots. I want to show you this right here, a live look, if we have it, I-4 near Nebraska Avenue and 275. You see that right there. It looks like rush hour, but definitely not. But under these circumstances, Courtney, yes.
Well, we're glad to see that people are heeding evacuation orders. I mean, this is a great thing. I saw it when I was driving into work. A lot of people just bumper to bumper, but you know what? Getting out and doing what they're being asked to do. Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins is timing out everything in the very latest on the track.
I never thought I'd be happy about traffic, but it really, I felt the same way when I saw it. I'm like, yes, okay, everybody's taking it seriously. 175 mile per hour winds. So now here's a couple things about that. It will not be that strong in the forecast by the time it gets here. Sure. You are going to see those numbers, those really high numbers. Typically, that's a small area inside the eye wall that has that much wind. All right, most of it's not going to be that bad. So we have 125 by the time it gets to here is what we're thinking. We'll have less wind than that, but there'll be the possibility for something like that in there. So again, those numbers are high, but those are usually the highest numbers that they can find for wind speed, okay? Let's start there. Let's get out to where it is now. Some amazing numbers. Category 5 starts at 157, and there is no top end of Category 5. We have 175 mile per hour winds. It's moving to the east at 9. And this is something we don't talk a whole lot about, but as a meteorologist, a pressure of 911 is extremely impressive. It went from 80 mile per hour Hurricane Cat 1 to 175, Mike, 165 to 175 in 24 hours. Actually 80 to 175 in 24 hours. The eye is impressive. You can see this loop. This loop is 12 hours. Cat 1 all the way up. It's amazing. Now, some folks have asked what this is. That's just some extra convection that has blown off. The core of it is right here. It will get bigger. The wind field will get bigger. Here's the latest track from the Hurricane Center. 165, so they're actually weakening, but that'll probably stay in the 170 range here. And then as it starts that turn to the north by Tuesday, tomorrow afternoon, it starts to weaken a little bit. There's some shear and some drier air up here, and it will run into that, and that's why we think it's about 125 at landfall, which is right now right over southern Pinellas County, right? So, and then it goes all the way across the state. It will stay a hurricane, at least a Cat 1, all the way over on the East Coast. It'll be moving a little bit quicker at that time, and it will be a strong system. We are all under a hurricane watch. These will go to warnings here as we get closer to the event. There's the track. I'll leave you with this. Tampa right here. There is some room for it to move to the south. However, the latest forecast has been nudged to the north just a little bit. I think it could go a little bit to the south. So Tampa Bay doesn't matter. Sarasota, Manatee, Fort Myers, everybody needs to be watching this very, very closely over the next 36 to 48 hours.
And to make sure you're safe, there are mandatory evacuations that are happening across Tampa Bay. You need to follow these evacuation orders. Hernando, Manatee, and Pinellas counties are calling for zones A, B, and C to evacuate. In Pasco, Hillsborough, and Sarasota counties, there are mandatory evacuation orders for zone A and B. Citrus County evacs will start tomorrow at 8 a.m. for anyone in campers, RVs, manufactured homes, regardless of your zone. If you live in a mobile home or a manufactured home, you are urged to leave because of how strong, you just heard Bobby, how strong these winds are forecast to be. South of the Skyway Bridge, where Hurricane Helene, of course, sent storm surge barreling through coastal communities, people are having to leave their homes yet again.
Yes, again. Along with evacuations, many folks are trying to remove debris. In Tampa Bay's Aduri Achumba live for us in Siesta Key with the latest. Aduri, we're doing it again.
That's right, and both Manatee and Sarasota County, as you said, issuing those evacuation orders for level A and B for low-lying coastal areas like right here in Siesta Key. And that also including those manufactured homes, mobile homes, as well as boat houses. Now take a look behind me. These folks here already boarded up and out of town, and throughout the area like right next door, the focus now is to try to get all of this outstanding long-standing debris from Hurricane Helene that you're seeing all up and down the road. They're trying to get it away so that they don't become projectiles when Milton's high winds come into our area. Now, authorities also telling folks don't take any chances as Milton's winds intensify. Now, local officials are preparing the community ahead of the impacts of Hurricane Milton. They're also moving resources that would be needed for response in the aftermath of the storm and trying to get those out of harm's way. Now, today throughout the area that's already been hit by Hurricane Helene just over a week ago, folks are getting ready for another round. Local and state crews joining private contractors and citizens and working fast to clear out debris that could start flying and create more projectiles during the height of the storm.
Break all of our windows, break all our doors, become missiles. So we're trying to do our part as owners.
Hopefully we get a lot of it off. So that's where we're at.
And as I stated, evacuation orders started going into effect. Some places started at noon and others at 2 p.m. this afternoon. And shelters will open at 10 a.m. tomorrow here in Sarasota County.
We had Hurricane Debbie that had 17 inches of rain that brought to our county with very little storm surge. We had Helene that brought storm surge of about 5 to 6 feet. This storm could possibly bring both of those hazards together into one.
Everyone in these evacuation zones needs to heed the warning to get off. The men and women of the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office, fire, EMS, all the first responders can't help you if you're not helping yourself. Get out of those areas.
And all the disposal areas in the Central County landfill will be open till tonight at 7 p.m. as well as tomorrow at 5 p.m. Closed all day Wednesday. Also, the 3 sandbag stations at Ed Smith Stadium, Twin Lakes Park, as well as South County Fleet will also be open till 7 p.m. tonight. Now, one more note, for those of you trying to get your debris to the landfill, you need to get there at least 30 minutes before that 7 p.m. mark to be able to offload your debris. Guys?
That upside down trash bin behind you, a testament of the times right there, Dury. Manatee County has already scheduled a time to shut off water in certain spots, too.
That's correct. The Manatee County Utilities will cut off water service to the cities and towns on the Barrier Island starting tomorrow at 10 a.m. They say that this is necessary in order to protect the infrastructure and make sure that it doesn't sustain any wider damage from the storm. Live in Siesta Key, Aduria Chumba, 10 Tampa Bay.
Adori, thank you. Keep in mind, airlines could ground or divert flights before TPA shuts its doors, so you need to check with your airline for updates. Tampa International Airport says that it will close tomorrow morning at 9, and then it will reopen as soon as possible as crews deem that it is safe. St. Pete Clearwater also closing at 9 o'clock tomorrow. This, of course, adding to backups that we're seeing on roadways. Now, if you do have a flight, make sure you check with your airline for flight cancellations this evening.
Sound advice right there. Also, if you're not evacuating and you need sandbags, multiple locations across Tampa Bay. So in Venice, you can fill up to 10 bags at the site near the Seaboard Avenue area. Bags are provided in Hillsborough County. 3 sites are open till 7 o'clock. Each vehicle also allowed 10 bags. The city of Dunedin has a site open at the Jerry Lake Rec Center. That is until 6:30. Now you can find a full list of all the sandbag spots in our area on that free 10 Tampa Bay app.
I want to let you know right now, zones A, B, and C for Pinellas County are under mandatory evacuation orders. Next, we're going to take you out to Madeira Beach with a look at how the barrier islands are prepping for Hurricane Milton and still picking up after Helene.
Plus, a look at where school closures stand right about now through the rest of the week.
Your 10 Tampa Bay weather team is breaking down Hurricane Milton's latest track. Your full forecast is coming up in less than 5 minutes.
It's October, and that means it's time to tackle that window or door project. West Shore Home is making it easier than ever with their biggest sale ever. Their easy and efficient process makes getting new windows or doors better than ever. First, they have a new online scheduling tool that lets you select your appointment in minutes. Next, they'll send one of their expertly trained design consultants out where they'll do a full diagnosis of each window in your home. They'll use temperature readings to tell you exactly which windows or doors need to be replaced. Even though it's fall, there's still time to get your new windows or front entry door installed with their quick and efficient process. And right now, they're making it more affordable with no interest financing.
It's our biggest sale ever, which means exclusive savings only available right now. This week, get 72 months of no interest financing. That means you don't have to worry because you'll be interest-free until 2030. Plus, anyone that calls in right now will get up to $1,500 off their project. Don't miss out. Call or visit westshorewindow.com.
Peace of mind, don't delay. Pick up your phone and dial away. 888-40 today. Get it done today with Energy Today.
For 60 years, our team of expert electricians has been here to help you with all your energy needs, so there's no need to wait or worry when it comes to your electric. Right now, get $100 off any electrical service.
Peace of mind, don't delay. Pick up your phone and dial away. 888-40 today. Get it done today with Energy Today.
The most important part of anyone's injury case is the firm you hire. You see, all law firms are not the same. Our firm has recovered billions and billions for clients. Injured, there's only one Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Here's what certified home inspectors are saying about RoofMax.
For a roof that hasn't been treated with the RoofMax product, it's very dry, brittle, and you see flaps broken off all over the place and onto the ground. With a RoofMax product, it's more pliable, flexible.
I've seen some treatments on some houses that we've inspected that had 2 or 3 years life remaining. Came back 24 hours later, it actually bends like it should have when it was first installed. Take my word for it, it does work.
We got lucky when it came to Hurricane Irma, and Hurricane Michael became a Category 5 in less than 36 hours. So instead of worrying about boarding up your windows, be prepared. With WeatherTight, you can put no money down or even use one of our interest-free programs. Don't react to a hurricane, prepare for one.
We do have breaking news as we come back. Want to make sure that you are aware zones A, B, and C in Pinellas County now under a mandatory evacuation. Hernando and Manatee also doing the same again for zones A, B, and C.
And the winds that we're talking about, the big reason many folks are now worried about debris left over from Hurricane Helene. Leaders in cities and counties across the area now trying to expedite that pickup process. So crews in Anna Maria Island loading trucks with solid waste, and in Tampa, officials asking anyone out there who is licensed to pick up debris to come on in and help out. And Pinellas County folks on Madeira Beach have just started to clear out debris from Helene.
Access to barrier islands was already cut off for so many neighbors, and that was because of safety reasons. 10 Tampa Bay's Jennifer Titus has been up and down our islands today. And Jen, just so many people have already suffered so much loss.
Yeah, Courtney, was here on the islands where we saw most of our deaths from Helene. Storm surge just destroying the homes and the businesses out here. I mean, take a look at this debris, items that shouldn't be on the curbs. It's merchandise, it's necklaces, it's items you would see inside the stores that is now just trash. And it's literally every single business, every single home out here. And who knows if all of this debris will be picked up by the time Milton arrives. In Madeira Beach at Johns Pass, almost every single business saw some sort of damage. We talked to business owners who say they estimate $400,000 plus worth of damage on his business. Another man we spoke to owns multiple properties out here, says his estimate is in the hundreds of millions of dollars. Dylan Hubbard of Hubbard's Marina says they just started putting the boardwalk back together and now are pulling some of it up in preps for Milton.
I mean, it puts a lot of stress on small business. I've already talked to a few business owners that will not be reopening, that have just thrown in the towel on us. I mean, we're a family. We're family owned and operated. We're family oriented. Our crew and captains, they're part of our family. We've been here almost 100 years.
Yeah, and we also spoke to homeowners out here, and I asked them, how's it been going since Helene? And they say they're still waiting on the insurance adjusters to get out here from Helene, and they know that that won't happen now until after Milton because they are evacuating, and now they are heading to a nearby hotel. Guys.
Jen, pretty soon it might be hard to tell what's from Helene or Milton with all the debris out there.
Yeah.
We hear about this with every storm, though. Price gouging. Any word of that as you've been out and about?
Yeah, so we have heard some people complain whether or not this was price gouging or not. I did speak to the state. They said they've had over 100 complaints from Helene of reports of price gouging. And with this storm coming up, they know they'll get more complaints coming in. Just make sure you are documenting everything. If you see a price gouging and you think it's price gouging, just document it, report it to the state on their hotline, and their app is also open now. Guys.
All right, Jen, thank you so much. And that number is 888, the number 9, no scam, if you'd like to report price gouging. Giving you a live look right now at traffic. I know many of you are planning to evacuate, to leave your homes. I want to get you an idea of what you're seeing right here. This is the Howard Franklin Bridge. You can see, of course, number of cars, a lot of people heading out of Pinellas County. Not many people heading that way. And looking at bridge times, you can see drive times on the Howard Franklin, about 47 minutes. Courtney Campbell, 30. Gandy Bridge, a little more than 20 minutes. So you do want to be prepared. It's going to be difficult. You're going to be in your car for a while. Just be ready for that. You'll get to where you need to go soon enough. And we're going to show you the traffic flow in the area as well. And you can see Malfunction Junction, what a mess. You've got I-75 North, that is bumper to bumper, I-4 East as well. And then it looks like once you get past that, it does start to clear a little bit. But again, getting through Tampa Bay is going to be rough because you can see people coming from Southwest Florida who have to get out of there because of the surge and because of the winds, just like us. They are leaving their homes right there and taking 75. You can see, man, right here what we're looking at, just heading north on I-75. This look right here is from I-4 actually heading out of Hillsborough County. So listen, people are heeding the evacuation orders. That is wonderful. That is what you're supposed to do. Something that we do like to see. And Bobby, a lot of people, you don't have to go necessarily very, very far,
right,
but a lot of people going to Orlando area.
Yeah, we say tens of miles, not hundreds of miles, and we really want people to run from the water, hide from the wind. That means if you're in A, B, or C, and you're asked to evacuate because the water could get to you. And we need you out of the way. Everybody else is going to get wind. We're all going to get wind, but those people really need to get out of the way because they're going to get water, and so we want them to run from the water, and we all hide from the wind. 60, 80 mile per hour winds in Orlando are possible. This is going to be a hurricane all the way across the state. It's going to parallel, I think, right along or maybe just south of I-4. So it's going all the way over towards the Cape. Let's get over to the weather wall right now. Let's talk about that update. 175 mile per hour winds. They've got recon in and out of there, and that's why we're getting these numbers. But I got to tell you, that is just amazing. That small, tight eye with all of the high winds around it. No eye wall structures on the outside of that inner eye wall, and I would want that because then it would weaken a little bit. That will happen. This is probably as strong as it's going to get here over the next 12 hours. There's the Yucatan, Cozumel, Cancun, and Cozumel right there on the northeast tip there. This will skirt right along it and then start its turn more towards the north and the northeast. Here's that forecast track one more time. Notice the winds coming down. Look, they gave a forecast of 165 and then had recon in there to find 175, so this will be adjusted up just a little bit. But this area here will likely stick around to what it is, 145 Wednesday morning. That's Cat 4 still, but then dry air and shear, we already have some of that in here now. It'll be coming into that environment, and that should weaken it a little bit. Okay, it's not going to look as nice as it does right now. I don't use the word nice, but that is symmetrical, right? It probably will not look as much like that by the time it gets here. Nonetheless, Cat 3 major hurricane forecast to landfall somewhere in the Tampa Bay area, and that will change a little bit. You can see where Tampa is here. That's the north end of Pinellas in Hillsborough County right here. So you can see there's quite a few models that are south of there. That's Sarasota County, Manatee County. There's still room for movement here, and so we all have to treat this like it's coming towards us. Now, this is our model, the graph that we run here. This is coming in further to the south, it looks like, more towards Sarasota. We'll see, right? I just showed you, every one of those lines I just showed you on the other one was a forecast model, so things will change. Now, timing-wise, the yellow is tropical storm force winds. I feel like after Helene, we're all getting to learn this now, right? By the time they get in here, it looks like now 9 a.m. on Wednesday morning. This is actually a forecast from the Hurricane Center. So that means by after sunrise on Wednesday morning, the winds start to pick up. You're really not going to be wanting to go on the bridges. You can, but you're not going to want to. Now, as we get towards 4 o'clock on Wednesday, the winds are generally out of the south and southeast, okay? But they're picking up to 55, 65 miles per hour, some higher gusts. Hurricane force winds, you can see it right here. This is a technical thing. It'll be bigger than that. You can see the dark red there. It's really tough. We lose data on just the product that they give us to show you on TV. But there will be hurricane force winds, and I've got it around 6 o'clock on Wednesday evening. That's when the weather really gets bad, and you can see, watch this as we move towards Wednesday night. That's 60+ mile per hour winds, 58 to 73 in the orange right there. That's a good chunk of our area seeing that. So we're thinking anywhere from 70 to almost 100 mile per hour winds possible in the area. Depends on where it goes. 7 a.m. on Thursday, we're just getting rid of the rain. Whatever surge comes up will go back down quickly. Not an extended surge event like Helene, but a big one. And in fact, we're thinking more than what we had for Helene, but it's going to be in smaller locations. So here's all that, the blue here, that's the surge, and here comes, not the surge, excuse me, that's the shear. And then here comes the storm into that shear, and that's why we think it will weaken just a little bit. Now, this is the center line from the National Hurricane Center for this particular track as of the latest one. I don't normally show you this, but I wanted to do that because this was here on Saturday, it was down here. Yesterday, then it came up to here, now it's up to here. Anything south of here will get the most surge, and if that happens, it pushes it right up in the bay. We do not want that. We do not want anything up here for Tampa Bay, and nobody wants it, but that's basically what's going to happen. So here's the latest forecast track from the Hurricane Center. See that highest surge, Manatee, AMI, Sarasota, right up into the bay. That's downtown Tampa right there. 5 to 8 foot is what we saw in downtown Tampa as well for Helene. The forecast is now 8 to 12 feet for that area. And then the problem is it's a possibility wherever it makes landfall. We just don't know exactly where it's going to make landfall. The timing again, after 8 a.m. on Wednesday morning, we'll see those tropical storm force winds. We'll talk about the rain. I think the heaviest rain is going to come into the north of the center, but there will be some rain issues. Wind, we have not had a hurricane come at us like this in some time. There's going to be a lot of damage from the wind, guys. We'll talk a little bit more about expected numbers in just a little bit.
And now's a great time to download the free 10 Tampa Bay app. We're going to keep you updated throughout the storm. You'll be able to stay informed, prepared, and connected anywhere you go, even if you lose power through that app. So make sure you download it right now. Great way to stay connected. School districts are also turning schools into shelters and encouraging you to use those. Depending on your county, most students will be out through at least Wednesday. So right now, Hillsborough, Pinellas, Manatee, Sarasota, and Pasco counties, those school districts will be closed Monday through Wednesday. Polk County schools will close Tuesday through Thursday. Hernando and Citrus County will be closed Tuesday and Wednesday. And we also got word St. Petersburg College now closed Monday through Thursday. Again, all of this stuff can change, so you can find the full list of closures for you for Tampa Bay area colleges, universities, and schools on 10tampabay.com. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The contractors you hired months ago still haven't finished your kitchen. That's why Kitchen Saver is here to save the day. Kitchen Saver's custom cabinet renewal process saves you time and stress. Our installation process is complete in as little as 3 to 5 days, allowing you to get back to doing what you love most. Kitchen Saver's been around for over 40 years. Our kitchens are built to last.
Prepare to be impressed. Kitchen Saver.
Other financial institutions may do a couple things well, but in our experience over the past decade, Lake Michigan Credit Union has done all of the things well.
LMCU has been there for every stage of my life.
I don't think I'd be in the same position if it wasn't connected to LMCU.
I know where my money is. I know what I can spend. I know what I'm able to do.
And that's an amazing experience to have. In terms of customer service, LMCU is top-notch. You're not going to find a better place to bank.
This is Jane. She doesn't know about the variety of Medicare Advantage plans from Optimum Healthcare.
Hello?
Jane, you're on TV.
Oh, okay.
Are you really paying over $500 every month for a Medicare supplement plan and prescription drug coverage?
Yeah, it bites.
At least you get dental, vision, and hearing coverage.
What? No, that's extra.
Zero cost over-the-counter items?
Oh, no. I guess I'm benefit poor?
You could be benefit rich, enjoying all those perks, plus an $80 monthly allowance for groceries and utilities, a $90 monthly allowance for over-the-counter items, and $174 back in your Social Security check. Now close your eyes and imagine the healthy life with Optimum.
Oh. Yoo-hoo. Aha. Yes.
Well, Jane?
I'm ready. Optimize me.
Call Optimum at 855-867-7704.
We are sharing a weather impact alert this afternoon as neighbors and, of course, all of our leaders in Tampa Bay do brace for Hurricane Milton's eye wall to potentially pass through our area. Many people are, of course, familiar with the calm center of a hurricane, the eye. That area is surrounded by a dangerous eye wall, which could slam into the Bay Area during Milton.
Meteorologist Amanda Pappas showing us what the eye wall is and what makes it so dangerous.
Hurricanes are like giant heat engines in the atmosphere using warm, unstable air as fuel. As the air is pulled into the hurricane, it spirals towards the center, getting faster and faster, eventually rising to create the giant cumulonimbus clouds that encircle the calm eye. This unbroken vertical wall of clouds is the eye wall. The convergence of winds here is so strong that the air rises faster and with more force than anywhere else in a hurricane, producing intense rain and damaging winds. In the strongest storms, this can translate to surface winds over 150 miles per hour.
What a breakdown right there. Next up, we check in with our live reporters stationed in counties where mandatory evacuations are happening right now. Our team coverage continues in the next half hour. We'll be right back.
Taking a nice, relaxing shower should be a refreshing part of everyone's day. Unfortunately for many, trying to step over a high threshold tub is way more stressful than it needs to be. At West Shore Home, our expert design consultants can assist you and provide the best solution for a safe and relaxing bathing experience. With different seating options, customized placement of anchored grab bars, and multiple handheld shower heads, you can have a safe and accessible shower in no time. Fast, easy, convenient. We can come out as early as tomorrow and provide you with an exact quote good for 1 full year. There's no appointment fee or purchase required. If you decide we're the solution for you, we can usually be back in under a month for your one-day transformation.
Lock in our biggest sale ever. This week, get 72 months of no interest financing. This is something we've never offered before and I don't want you to miss out. Plus, get $1,500 off your tub to shower conversion when you call West Shore Home now.
Peace of mind, don't delay. Pick up your phone and dial away. 888-40 today. Get it done today with Plumbing Today.
For 60 years, our team of trusted, reliable plumbers has been here to help you with all your plumbing needs. Right now, unclogging any drain is $93 or it's free. That's $93 or free.
Peace of mind, don't delay. Pick up your phone and dial away. 888-40 today. Get it done today with Plumbing Today.
Emerson Lakes is now accepting reservations. Discover the new senior living community coming to Lakewood Ranch. Enjoy an active lifestyle on our private 46-acre campus. Choose from a variety of apartment homes for every style and budget. Everything you need is just steps from your door, including a pool, fitness center, multiple delicious dining options, and on-site health care. Emerson Lakes, now accepting reservations. Call or visit us online for your free brochure.
We got lucky when it came to Hurricane Irma, and Hurricane Michael became a Category 5 in less than 36 hours. So instead of worrying about boarding up your windows, be prepared. With WeatherTight, you can put no money down or even use one of our interest-free programs. Don't react to a hurricane, prepare for one.
Drift into Checkers and Rallies and get the new $5 T-Pain for Real meal, where you can get all this or this for just $5.
T-Pain? For real?
For real. Only at Checkers and Rallies.
At CarePlus Health Plans, we know how important it is to access the care you need. That's why some of our Medicare Advantage plans include benefits like saving money on your Part B premium each month and an allowance for expenses like groceries, utilities, rent, and more. Medicare's annual enrollment period is here. Contact CarePlus today and start living a more vibrant life.
Live right now on 10 Tampa Bay. You know what? We are tracking Hurricane Milton's potential impacts to the Bay Area and how officials and neighbors are getting ready. We want to thank you for joining us. I'm Frank Wiley.
And I'm Courtney Robinson. Our live team coverage continues this half hour. We do have crews up and down the Gulf Coast, from evacuation efforts in multiple counties to picking up that debris before it becomes a projectile. We do have everything you need to know. I want to give you a live look right now out at the roads this afternoon. People are heeding these evacuation orders, mandatory evacuation orders in place. You are looking at I-4. Of course, all that traffic is heading eastbound, getting out of Tampa Bay. You can see I-275 north as well. We do want to get right over to Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins with a first look at the forecast. And Bobby, there's a lot of false information, some really scary information that's getting spread around. Let's stick with what's on the screen, right?
Yeah, that's right. Pick a trusted source for your weather and your news and go with that through this, okay? Especially if it's somewhere like us on TV, we're not going to be able to lie to you, right? And keep it through there, because people are just trying to get clicks and that type of thing, and it's not good. That's scary as it is, 175-mile-per-hour winds. Now, we do not expect that here, okay? But that's the clickbait that you're going to see out there for today. I would also tell you, I know a lot of folks are leaving. Download our app, our 10 Tampa Bay app. You can watch coverage that we will do through the storm. Even if you're in Orlando, if you're in Georgia, if you're in Miami, wherever you're going, you'll be able to watch the local coverage from here. Okay, so we'll have you covered. Now, 175-mile-per-hour winds. Look what this thing's been doing. But in the last 12 hours, it went from basically a Cat 1 to a Cat 5. 24 hours, it went from just about 80 to 175-mile-per-hour winds. Amazing. Let's move into the east at 9. Now, here's the forecast track. Drier air, some shear. It does start to weaken a little bit, but we're still thinking Cat 3 at landfall, which would be Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening. So the timing for the tropical storm force winds, not the hurricane winds, but the tropical storm force winds, that would be after sunrise on Wednesday morning. Not a whole lot, but after that. So gradually through the day on Wednesday, the winds go downhill. Our probability of seeing that right now is basically close to 100%. We're going to get that, okay? Now, here is the rainfall. We talked a little bit about the rainfall forecast. It looks like wherever the center goes in, and then to the north, we'll have the most rain. So inland flooding will be an issue, especially north of I-4. All right, so keep that in mind as well. If you live somewhere where it normally floods pretty good when it rains heavy, probably going to flood. We're talking 10 to 15 inches of rainfall are possible. Impacts begin especially Wednesday afternoon into the evening hours, go through the first half of Thursday into parts of Thursday night, but we'll be getting better at that time. Tropical storm force winds, just about everybody. Hurricane force winds right along that center where it moves onshore. Highest surge will be just along to the center and the south of where it goes. It's been flip-flopping, and that's why we can't tell you exactly where it's going to go right now. So today you need to stock up, finish your preps, boarding up. This is a board-up storm. If you're wondering, should I board up for this one? Yes, you do for this one. Evacuate if you're asked to do so. Don't forget, you can head over to our 10 Tampa Bay YouTube page. We've got great videos on how to get prepared for the hurricane. Lots of steps that you can do around your house today, this afternoon, to help you and your family get prepared. Coming up after this, I'm going to have county by county expectations, wind, rain, and surge. That's coming up in just about 10 minutes.
A lot to take away. Thank you, Bobby. Perhaps the best part of that, stick with a trusted source. As Bobby just said, we got you covered. Right now, mandatory evacuations are happening across Tampa Bay. Hernando and Pinellas counties calling for zones A, B, and C to evacuate. In Pasco, Hillsborough, Manatee, and Sarasota counties, there are mandatory evacuation orders for zones A and B. Now, regardless of your zone, if you live in a mobile or manufactured home, you're being urged to leave because of how strong those winds are forecast to be. And in Hillsborough County, that evacuation order just went into effect about an hour ago.
10 Tampa Bay's Hannah Deneen is at a rest stop off I-75 in Ruskin. And while many people evacuated during Helene, and I know a lot of people are coming up from Southwest Florida as well, so you're busy out there.
Courtney, this rest stop has been packed over the last several hours. Parking lot completely full, and some cars have had to pull over on the side here for that extra room. And you can see straight behind me as well, that's I-75 northbound, which has been moving at a crawl over the last several hours. We've been speaking with people here at this rest stop, some driving from as far south as Fort Myers this afternoon, and they all tell me they are confident in their decision to evacuate. They don't mind standing out in that traffic because they are trying to get out of Milton's way. Now, the roads are not the only place that are busy this afternoon. There's also a lot of action over at Tampa International Airport, where they announced earlier this morning that they will be suspending operations starting tomorrow at 9 a.m. We were there a few hours ago speaking with many people who'd made last-minute flights out or were still working to book something ahead of the closure.
I was supposed to fly out tomorrow to go to Miami to go catch another cruise, but obviously the airport is closed, so I have a lot of concerns. What am I going to do? I don't know, but maybe I'll stay in the hotel for a couple more days.
If you would like to evacuate but have nowhere to go, right now there are 9 emergency shelters open in Hillsborough County. You can find out more information about those locations right now on the county's website or on their social media pages. They are also, with the help of HART and first responders, coordinating rides to those emergency shelters if you do need a ride. Live in Ruskin, Hannah Deneen, 10 Tampa Bay.
All right, Hannah, thank you. Yes, there are emergency shelters that will be open in most all of your counties. So if you don't have a place to go out of your community, there are shelters that are safe to help you ride this storm out. And we're going to be here with you through all of that. Mandatory evacuations are also in place in Pasco County ahead of Milton.
Yeah, 10 Tampa Bay's Angelicia Bruton live for us at the Emergency Management Office, where a news conference just wrapped up with Emergency Management Director there, Angelicia.
Yeah, Andy Fossa says that there's a mandatory evacuation in place in Zone A and B and a voluntary evacuation in place in Zone C. Now, the county's main concern is this big pile of debris behind me. They say most of this debris came from flood-prone neighborhoods like the Gulf Harbors area, and after Hurricane Helene, it seemed like almost every home in that neighborhood had debris out on the side of the road. The county's goal is to remove all of this debris collected and take it to the landfill.
The debris is going to be a very big problem for Milton, and it's going to be a very big problem for first responders. With that debris floating around out there and stuff that's not able to float that's on the bottom, vehicles aren't going to see it, the first responders aren't going to, it's a recipe for disaster.
Crews are still working to pick up as much debris as possible, but Fossa is encouraging people to bring in any debris that might have taken to the side, that they might have taken to the side of the road, so it doesn't become hazardous after the storm hits.
All right, gave you a good look at the director right there. No doubt we'll hear more from him a little bit later as this storm approaches. Got to ask the question here, Angelicia. Do we know about the plans to open shelters in Pasco County?
Yeah, Frank, the county is encouraging people to stay with family and friends, but they did open several shelters at schools throughout the county at noon today, and they're going to have the Go Pasco bus services picking up people, taking them to the shelter as the weather permits. Live in Pasco County, Angelicia Bruton, 10 Tampa Bay.
As weather permits, thank you, Angelicia. By the way, if you're not sure about which evacuation zone you are in, you can find that information right now on that free 10 Tampa Bay app. Again, free. We also have other resources available. You'll find those stories at the top of the page.
Right now, the city of Tampa and the city of St. Pete are offering free garage parking for those who live in low-lying, flood-prone areas. The city says this significantly will help people, especially those of you who drive an electric vehicle. If left unprotected, that surge water can get into the car and cause a fire. The city suggests parking EVs in one of their free garages on the 3rd floor or higher. Upper level parking will be available on a first come, first served basis for garages on Twiggs Street, the Tampa Convention Center, and several other locations. This is going to last through 5 o'clock this Thursday at this moment. St. Pete is also offering free garage parking for those who live in flood prone areas, and especially if you have those EVs. This is at the South Core Garage on 1st Avenue South. Entry will start at 5 o'clock tonight until 5 o'clock tomorrow, or the lot is full. Starting today, PSTA is waiving fares to help those evacuating in Pinellas County. The suspension covers all PSTA routes, the Jolly Trolley and Looper, as well as the paratransit service. And there are several locations where passengers can transfer and ride to a shelter with available space. Those spots include Park Street Terminal, Grand Central Station, and Westfield Countryside Mall. The PSTA office is also open today. It's going to close on Tuesday and Wednesday.
And Courtney, we're watching this happen in real time right here. You want to start making those transportation plans right now because those major bridges likely to shut down once the winds increase. So the Howard Franklin, the Gandy Bridge, and the Courtney Campbell Causeway all close when winds reach 45 miles an hour. The Skyway, of course, typically closes at the same speeds, but the Skyway much taller, as you know, so more elevation means faster wind speeds. Florida Highway Patrol is in charge of all those decisions. Plus a warning this afternoon for power outages.
Chico officials say while they have a plan in place, a storm of this size can damage both overhead and underground power lines. They're warning that extended power outages are possible, of course. Meanwhile, Florida Power and Light, they say that they're working right now to prepare for Milton, and they're putting line workers in place to go out and restore power. The company is also coordinating with the state and with county emergency operations as well. And you can watch our coverage of Hurricane Milton. Download the free 10 Tampa Bay Plus app on your streaming device. This is going to be the place where you're able to get all of the information you need, especially if your power does go out. We'll have the latest updates on the storm's track, and you can also tune in by downloading on your mobile app, mobile appliances as well, mobile devices. There we go, the 10 Tampa Bay app. With one storm coming, keep an eye out for price gouging. We break down the number of current reports and make sure that you know what to do if price gougers are near you.
Cool's right here, don't delay. Pick up your phone and dial away. 888-40 today. Get it done today with Cool today.
For 60 years, our team of air conditioning experts has been here to help you with all your AC needs. Right now, get up to a $2,000 tax credit with the purchase of qualifying new equipment.
Cool's right here, don't delay. Pick up your phone and dial away. 888-40 today. Get it done today with Cool today.
I wasted a lot of time and money trying to go down the mail order hearing aid route. I went with them for maybe a couple weeks total. It did eventually lead me to Audubon. I came in here, my life changed overnight. I can't even imagine life without these anymore. You have to ask yourself a question, what is my hearing worth? My answer is, I'd be willing to pay more to get what I have right now.
I was T-boned at about 30 miles an hour, and attorney Dan Newland won my case and got me $300,000.
Involved in a car accident? Let's get started. Call me at 813-888-8000.
Thanks, Dan.
New season, new challenge. What isn't new is how this city's heart beats like thunder. How this arena proves wrong those who dare to doubt us. How hockey has the power to turn strangers into a chorus of one. We're starting a new climb, but our goal is still the same, to show the world what we're made of.
At West Shore Home, we've made remodeling your bathroom easier than ever with our quick 3-step process. Hi, I'm Maria Montgomery here with BJ Warzen.
That's right, Maria. With our new online design tool, anybody watching right now can go to westshorebath.com and design their dream bath in just minutes.
That sounds like so much fun. And one of my favorite things about West Shore Home is that your vanity and your flooring match your shower perfectly.
That's right, and once you design that dream shower, you can just hit that Get Quote button. We're gonna come out and just double check the measurements, and we're gonna give you a quote that's good for 1 full year.
That sounds amazing. It's so fun to design my bath right on my phone from the comfort of my couch. Now I understand we have a great offer for our viewers today.
We sure do, and it's our biggest sale ever. This week, you can lock in 72 months of no interest financing. It's something we've never offered before, so you need to act now and lock it in before it's gone. Plus, get $1,500 off your entire project. Call or visit westshorebath.com.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Hurricane
All right, here we go again. Want to get right over to Governor Ron DeSantis.
He is at the State Emergency Operations Center with resources that are rolling out now. Let's
Storm
listen.
surge watch has been issued for the Florida Gulf Coast from mainland Monroe County to the Dixie-Levy County line. Possibility of 8 to 12 feet of storm surge is forecast from the Anclote River to Englewood, including Tampa Bay. 5 to 10 foot peak storm surge is forecast from Yankeetown southward to the Anclote River and from Englewood southward to Bonita Beach, including Charlotte Harbor. And those numbers can change and they can go up in certain areas depending on how the storm ultimately approaches the Florida Peninsula. Hurricane watches have been issued for portions of west central Florida and the Nature Coast. Tropical storm watches extend further south and north through southwest Florida and the Keys and along northern Florida. The Florida Division of Emergency Management is actively addressing storm-related resource requests. They're currently in the process of fulfilling 850 missions. They've deployed everything from sandbags to shelf-stable meals to tens of thousands of water bottles to thousands of tarps. We've already sent truckloads of food and water to Central Florida in preparation for points of distribution site subsequent to the storm hitting. We're also coordinating the deployment of more than 2,000 feet of flood protection systems and prioritizing critical infrastructure like hospitals, wastewater treatment facilities, and electrical infrastructure. We have generators deployed to support special needs sheltering. We also have Starlinks deployed in areas that have asked for that. More than 200 ambulances and more than 30 paratransits are in Central Florida, ready to support first responder operations as appropriate. State of Florida is amassing fuel reserves ahead of Milton and staging it to be utilized as needed. Those quantities include 415,000 gallons of diesel, 389,000 gallons of gasoline, and there is, as I mentioned this morning, an additional 1.5 million gallons of both diesel and gasoline that are en route to the state. Now, there is currently no fuel shortage in the state of Florida. Fuel continues to arrive at Florida ports. However, there are long lines at some gas stations, and because you've had a run on gas, there have been gas stations that have run out of fuel, but they are being resupplied with the fuel. So we're going to continue to ensure that we have fuel coming, but they're still coming with the ports. We have some coming on the ground, so people can go. You may be in a line, but if your gas station runs out, there's going to be more fuel on the way. As I've mentioned, we have ramped up support for county debris removal operations. We're working this mission to supplement their mission 24/7 around the clock, and we're going to continue to do that all the way until it is no longer safe to do so. Please, local officials, these vendors, there's been vendors that they don't necessarily do, and then when there's some sunlight and people see they're not doing, then they start to work really hard. We got to get as much of this taken care of as possible. I know with Kevin and with Jared putting the state assets to supplement, it has made a really significant difference. We want to continue to do that. Those barrier islands like Pinellas, Manatee that are under evacuation orders, people obviously should heed those, but once that deadline passes, we're still going to have the debris removal operations ongoing all the way until we start to hit tropical storm force winds. So that's all the rest of today through the night, all day tomorrow, most likely into the beginning of Wednesday morning. So I appreciate all the effort that's gone into that on the state. We have deployed just on the state side to assist with the federal, with the local debris mission, over 300 dump trucks to help with debris. And in the last 36 hours, state assets have been able to do 12,000 cubic yards of debris removed from communities and brought to landfill. That's 663 total loads. So that's been a good mobilization. It will make a difference, but we need to keep doing that to mitigate the harm that could happen once the storm goes. Florida National Guard, State Guard, additional FDOT personnel, and Florida Highway Patrol are all engaged in that debris mission. For the storm, we have 5,000 National Guardsmen that have been mobilized, and we will have, before the storm hits, another 3,000 National Guardsmen that will be on duty. We're also deploying major heavy equipment to assist with debris removal, and of course, National Guard will be a big part of any search and rescue that needs to happen, as well as helping set up our points of distribution. These debris and landfill sites are open, not just from state assets or from the local debris contractors, but for private individuals and citizens. And so if you've got a pickup truck, you can load debris up. We want you to go and do that. I know we've had issues with those sites being being closed when they should be open 24. We've opened them when we've seen that, but let's keep this going until it's no longer safe to do so. We're also coordinating the evacuation.
You are listening to Governor Ron DeSantis speaking from the State Emergency Operations Center about resources that are in place ready to roll out after the storm. Those include ambulances and other support systems for first responders. The governor also making sure that you know there is not a fuel shortage in the state of Florida. I know that many of you have tried to fill up and you've seen that the gas stations don't have gas, but he says that fuel is coming in and they are being replenished. Just know that that will happen sooner rather than later. And of course, debris pickup, that's going to continue, he says, until we start to feel tropical storm force winds.
Absolutely. The governor also pointing out that there are generators for special needs shelters. And now, of course, the perfect time to be a great neighbor if you have a pickup truck of your own. Want to get another look at that forecast so we can take a look at the track of that storm. Bobby D, what's the word on Milton?
So it's still well down to our south, way far away from us, but it will be making a turn. So let's get over the weather wall. Let's talk about it very fast. I want to get into some of the impacts that we're going to see. It looks really scary, I know, guys. 175-mile-per-hour winds. It's very impressive, meteorologically speaking. But we don't think it's going to be that bad by the time it gets here, but it could be bad. Let's look at it that way. Cat 3. 125-mile-per-hour winds. That's the forecast now. Likely will change just a little bit. And again, that timing for tropical storm force winds is after 8 a.m. on Wednesday morning. However, and I want to mention this is our forecast model that we use here, usually pretty good. Not only this one, but other models are much slower to get this here. This may not be getting here until late Wednesday into Thursday right now. So pay attention to that. By the way, our model goes further south than where the Hurricane Center has it. Storm surge watch. So let's go over some numbers. Down towards Marco Island, 4 to 7 foot, 5 to 10 in the Fort Myers area. The bullseye is right here. Manatee, Sarasota, Pinellas, Tampa Bay, including Hillsborough, 8 to 12 foot of storm surge. We saw 5 to 8 for Helene. All right, less as you work your way north because the winds eventually will be blowing off shore here. Let's talk about some impacts. For Pasco, Hernando, and Citrus, 60 to 85 mile-per-hour winds, 10 to 14 inches of rain. Pinellas and Hillsborough, 75 to 110 mile-per-hour winds. That's going to knock the power out. That's going to put some trees down. That's going to break some stuff. 10 to 14 inches of rain, 8 to 12 foot storm surge. Manatee, Sarasota, 75 to 110 mile-per-hour winds as well. 8 to 12 foot surge. The center goes in somewhere over here. You get your high wind, especially on the south side. Inland locations, we still got a hurricane coming through, guys. You won't have the winds that they have along the coast, but you will have 70 to 90 mile-per-hour winds with some gusts a little bit higher than that and about 7 to 10 inches of rain. I think the highest rainfall amounts will end up north of I-4.
When people stop me to ask, what's my case worth, here's what I tell them. All law firms are not the same. You see, the most important part of anyone's injury case is the firm you hire. The insurance company knows exactly which firms fight for full value and which firms will settle your case for pennies on the dollar. Our firm has recovered billions and billions and billions. $3 billion last year alone. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Is your toilet always running? Call Acre Plumbing and Air today. We are open 7 days a week with no extra charges for Saturday or Sunday appointments. We know you're busy, which is why Acre works on your schedule.
We are open, Acre Air.
I was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer the day after Christmas of 2013. I knew that Moffitt was where I needed to be to live.
Your first choice for treating gastrointestinal cancers is your best chance for beating them. So choose Moffitt first.
I'm a registered nurse at Moffitt Cancer Center.
and I'm also a 10-year stage 3 colon cancer survivor.
Moffitt is accelerating the science for the early detection and treatment of all gastrointestinal cancers.
I take a lot of joy in being able to impact other people's lives. They look at me and see hope and see that I'm on the other side of the journey.
Moffitt's advanced treatment and breakthrough clinical trials are providing survival outcomes up to 4 times the national averages.
They saved my life. I appreciate every day.
Call Moffitt to connect with a gastrointestinal cancer expert.
We got lucky when it came to Hurricane Irma, and Hurricane Michael became a Category 5 in less than 36 hours. So instead of worrying about boarding up your windows, be prepared. With WeatherTight, you can put no money down or even use one of our interest-free programs. Don't react to a hurricane, prepare for one.
Look at this. A Medicare plan with a prepaid card for healthy groceries and other expenses.
Is that from Aetna?
Yeah. Why?
I have an Aetna Medicare plan. I get a prepaid card with a monthly allowance I can use on groceries, utilities, and I got to keep my doctor.
Really?
Yep.
I guess it can't hurt to call.
Never hurts to call.
If you're eligible for Medicare and Medicaid, call us at 1-877-38-ETNA. We'll explain plans with benefits you may be eligible for. Our dual eligible special needs plans offer dental, vision, and hearing, a dedicated care team to help you use your benefits, plus a card with a monthly allowance you can use to help pay for groceries and more.
So I can get all of these benefits on top of what I already get?
That's right. You keep your Medicaid benefits and get even more from Aetna Medicare.
Wow.
Let me walk you through the plan. Make sure your doctor and prescriptions are covered and talk about the local support you'll get.
Call 1-877-38-ETNA today, and let's make healthier happen together.
So, did it hurt to call?
No, not at all.
Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins with another look before we say goodbye.
So when you get development in the tropics, it tends to come in waves. That rain's over top of us now, and yesterday, if that was further in the Gulf, it would have tried to develop. It now has a small chance to develop out to our east. It will not affect us. The track will change. We'll get another update at 5 o'clock this evening. That will include intensity and track. That's a full update there. So we'll have the very latest for you on air and online. Some of the models are perhaps a little bit south of Tampa. We've got some time, and we'll also see if the timing wants to change on the back side of this, if it will be later getting here, okay? 7-day forecast, I went ahead and included 100% rain chance on Thursday. Here's the good news. Behind this, it will be cooler, it will be drier. It's essentially our first cold front of the season. It was really hot and humid behind Helene. That will not be the case behind this one.
I feel like it's like day by day at this point, right? Like get through, get ready, be prepared. We have time.
Yeah, we'll make it. We'll make it through this. It's going to be a little go of it.
All right, well, we'll see you back here tonight at 5. Until then, be well and take care.